This is one of the fastest XP farms that you can build right now for your Minecraft Bedrock 1.21 world. You'll gain up to 30 XP in a single second when maximizing this farm's capabilities. It only takes a few minutes to build and requires very little redstone. Before we begin, these are the materials you will need. If you're curious about the build's dimensions and location, you can build this approximately anywhere, and it's 8x8 blocks and 5 blocks tall. Alright everyone, now that we have all that information out of the way, we can begin with making this awesome Armadillo XP farm. Now when I say this is pretty powerful, it's very powerful, so if you're on a low-end device, just be careful. You might crash into the abyss. But what we're going to want to do before we begin is find a build location. So I'm going to be building this in this lovely area. If you want the build's dimensions, it's in the description and the beginning of this video. You're going to want about 4 armadillos on standby, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. Go ahead and put them in a cage, put them in a hole, put them somewhere, just not in fire. Keep in mind, you can have as many armadillos as you want. The minimum I would recommend would be 4 armadillos. The more armadillos you add, the more tridents you're going to need, and the more XP that you're going to get. Alright, the first thing we want to do is place a stone brick block, and it has to be a stone brick block. The reason for this is, when you place a stone brick block, you're going to see that it has a line in it. So if I place another one over here, no matter what direction I place these in, there's always a line facing one direction. As you can see, all these lines are facing this direction. That's going to be the east direction, and that's the direction we want to build this farm. So with that being said, we want to build it this way. A little bit to the right of that stone brick, we can place a sand block. It doesn't matter because this is going to get removed later. Just like I said, this is indicating that this is the build direction we're building in. Above that sand block, we want to place a temporary block, so I'll place some dirt and then a composter on top of the dirt and then break the temporary block. Behind the sand, you want to break that block, and we want to get a zombie inside of this hole. All you need to do is have a zombie over here, lure it into the hole, and then you place a block right there. Keep in mind, you will need a trapdoor right there when you're luring the zombie in the hole. I'd also recommend placing blocks just like this to trap the zombie in the hole, so you could just do this, and then once the zombie goes in, trap it in. The next step, and probably the hardest step of this entire build process, is getting the armadillos inside of this composter. We're going to want to place temporary blocks all around the composter. Make sure you make a staircase going up just like this, and the whole idea is we're going to do a minecart system so we can get some rails, and we're essentially going to just put the armadillos inside of the minecart. And you can kind of lure them one at a time using a spider eye. They will follow you if you hold the spider eye in your hand. And if the armadillo is doing this where it's not moving because of the zombie, you can just push it into the minecart just like this, and then push the minecart all the way up until the minecart's literally inside of the composter, and then break the minecart, and there you go. You have yourself an armadillo inside of a composter. So go ahead and break all those rails now. We don't need them anymore. And then you could go ahead and break all of the placeholder blocks that we placed. All right, behind the composter right here on top of that block we placed, which is above the zombie, go ahead and place a leaf block, and behind the leaf, go ahead and place a trapdoor just like this and flick it up. Now everything from here is really simple. Place a block to the left diagonal down of that composter. Take a dispenser and make sure the dispenser is facing into the composter, then break the block below it. Place 2 glass on the right just like this, and place 2 glass on the left. On the right side, place another 2, but do not do it on the left side. On the diagonal glass on the right side, place a block here. Place a lever on top of the block with the comparator in front of it. Right click the comparator to make sure it's an inverted signal. Place 3 redstone dusts just like this, and then you want to place 2 solid blocks, one on top of the leaf and one on top of the composter, leaving a 1 block gap in between. On top of the solid block right here, place 1 more redstone dust. In front of the composter right here, place a temporary block with a fence on top of it and a trapdoor on top of that fence. Make sure when you place the fence, you are facing this way, away from the composter, so when you flick it up, it flicks up this way. You don't want it flicking up the other direction. Break that grass block or the temporary block that you placed below it. If you did everything correctly, that will create an infinite clock system that looks like this. Alright guys, believe it or not, we are almost done. Here's what the build looks like if we go all the way around it. To the left of that dispenser that we placed, place a block right here and go 2 blocks in front of it. So there's the block, and then we go 1, we go 2, and we place another block over there. That block we placed right here, bring it out by 1 more, just like this. Place a redstone dust on top of it, and take a piston and look this way, and bring the piston so it's facing towards this direction. You want to place another piston on that second block we placed, but facing towards the piston over here. So you have 2 pistons facing each other. You could fill this in right here with blocks, and you could place a block of redstone on top of that block, or in other words, to the right of the left piston. You want to place 2 temporary blocks just like this. Take a hopper, face that hopper into that block over here, and then you can just break these 2 blocks and take another hopper, and now both hoppers are looking at each other, and that is exactly what we want. Inside of this left hopper right here, we want to put in 3 stacks of 64 blocks. It doesn't matter, and actually it doesn't have to be blocks. It could be dirt, it could be sticks, it could be anything. I would just recommend doing dirt because it's cheap. You could do planks, whatever you want to do. Make sure it's 3 stacks of 64 and then an additional 32. After you put that in there, you are done with that. Place a block on the right side, place a block on the left side, and on both sides go diagonal up by 1, just like this. Take 2 comparators and make sure the comparators are facing into the block, so this way, when you do that, that's going to light up. You want to do the same thing, a comparator going into that block. This comparator is not going to light up right away. It doesn't matter. You could fill this in with blocks if you'd like, or you could leave it empty. Completely up to you. Just like we did over here with the redstone dust, we want to do that over here as well. So place a block there and place redstone dust like that. Once you do that, that's going to extend the piston, pushing the redstone block to the right piston. You are now going to notice that the items inside of these hoppers are rapidly moving. So they're going to the left and they're going back to the right. This is a hopper clock. So every so often, this redstone block is going to move back to the left and then it's going to move back to the right. We want to place a lever right here and flick that down for now. When this lever is flicked down, this whole clock system is turned off, and when this lever is flicked up, the clock system is turned on. So let's keep the clock system off for now. The last thing we want to do is take a water bucket and waterlog the leaf right here, so we could just literally shift and right click on the leaf block. You don't have to worry about the armadillos dying because the water's not going to drown them because they're safely protected in their composter. All right, guys, here's the next most important part. Listen closely. Hey, kids, want to know how to craft infestation potions? Let's do it together. Here we go. It's brewery time. Put in your potions, then blaze up the powder, let it all chime. Now you got awkward potions, add in another word, then wait for it. And now you add in stone, then you add the gunpowder. Now you have infestation, yo. No hesitation, stack them up high, do it a couple times, then grip them tight and let them multiply into a bunch. You want about 9. It's brewery time, it's brewery time. Now you know, oh, now you know. You're going to want to put all your infestation potions inside of the dispenser. I would recommend you have at least 9 if you want to fully AFK on this farm. Keep in mind, every potion of infestation will only last around 3 minutes when you turn the farm on. So if you have 9, that should give you around 30 minutes or so of AFK time. Now, one issue is that dispensers can't hold that many items, so I would recommend you put a hopper here and a chest on top of it with more infestation bottles into the chest, and that will allow you to have a bigger overflow protection system. All right, guys, you have been warned. Once I show you how to turn this farm on, it can get extremely laggy if you are on a lower end device. However, to turn this farm on, all you have to do is place a cactus down just like this. That's going to rapidly hurt the armadillos. Since the zombie is over here to the right, that's going to make the armadillos go inside their shell. And in Minecraft, if you didn't know, armadillos regenerate all of their health when they're inside of their shells. So you might get scared thinking they're all gonna die in there, but they're actually perfectly safe. You then want to take one more trapdoor and place it above this trapdoor and flick it up just like this. And then you want to take 4 tridents going into the trapdoors just like this. Make sure you don't hit the block, you want to hit the trapdoors. All this will be posted in the wiki on my website, but you want to have about 4 to 5 tridents per 4 armadillos. When you flick this lever, they're going to go up and down just like this, and they're going to work as a trident killer. So now all you have to do is place a cactus here, flick this lever to the right, and flick this lever to the left. Once you do that, you're going to notice all the silverfish start spawning. And look at that, guys. Look how much XP I am getting. We can put ourselves in survival, and look at that. Wow. You get so much XP from this farm. It's absolutely insane. To turn the farm off, flick that lever back down and flick the lever to turn the clock machine off, and then break the cactus below. You will notice that the zombie can pick up items, so I recommend you throw like a stick or a wooden sword down. That way it can't pick up your cactus. But yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. All of your questions are most likely answered on my website in the wiki. It's going to be in the pinned comment, and it's going to be in the description. Mends.com/armadillo. Hope you guys did enjoy. Join the Discord server to become a part of an everlasting meta community today. If you have any questions, jot it down in the comment section. You know I'll reply. And as always, bye-bye.
I don't listen to the haters, man, I treat them like the enemy.